This evening. Yes, sir. I'll see you this evening. She was crying. They've been together 18 years. She likes him. She's still got a little growl going. Yeah, she likes him. Oh my gosh, that's great. 18 years. They're a good couple, right? I've seen that thing on the foot. I've had my foot swell. I know that one hurts. Doesn't swell anymore. Turmeric tea is excellent. It is the pure powdered turmeric, and it's got some flavor. Man, that thing will wake you up. It's like brisk tea. Just, whoa, you're awake. It reduces inflammation in joints, arthritis, swelling. The gum will last you much longer, but you get a 2-week supply of the tea for less than $4. It's like less than $3.20. It's for a 20-ounce tea. However, and I, for a little while, thought the same thing, right? Like, oh, it's probably, joint swelling and water retention. No. That's what you'll think. I thought the same thing. If you're familiar with lymph node swelling, lymphatic swelling is from infection, but it's usually your body as a whole. It happens on your neck or on your ears. Localized swelling, that's a little different. That is an infection. Particularly if it's around any type of area where you may have some type of reaction. So I had a few of these, 3 or 4 of them after I went to the park. By some of my feet. It's like, oh, that ain't good. All these little suckers swelled up. Something fierce. And then my foot started swelling up. So, you're familiar with Aquadoxy. It's basically 100 milligram tablets of doxycycline, usually used for fish. But you stockpile a couple hundred of them, and you got antibiotics whenever you need them. Some of these, if you wait even, what did I say, 2 hours? 8 hours. Some stuff, everyone has it. It can kill you in 6 hours. MRSAs, for example, everybody has it. Your urine's clean. Essentially sterile, but you can still carry MRSAs, which is why anyone who has an issue where they get someone else's MRSAs, it's MERCES, look it up. Yeah, they can't get anywhere near anyone who's been in the bathroom, used any type of yeah, anything. Like, can't use catheters, can't use anything with urine at all, because it is that dangerous. 6 hours, you are on the ground. You cannot move. You feel like you're dying. 8 hours, it might have actually killed you. Hundreds of millions of people have it. So all those paper toilet seat covers, that's what they're for. just in case some urine somewhere did happen to transmit the stuff. Man, it just killed people inside of 8 hours time. Like, well, we'll, get you this. It'll be in 2 days. And like, are you serious? Dude, 6 hours from now, ain't gonna be doing much of anything. So get some aquadoxy. Here's the downside. It's gonna cost you for 30 capsules about $2.50 a capsule. About $75, 30-day supply. But it's not gonna expire. Those little things in there that expire, and it's not that you can't stockpile antibiotics, it's that they change storage so that stuff won't keep. Yeah, man. So, what do? You stockpile up to where you know you have always got something in case it's something one person is. However, if you go by Amazon, they do video conferencing prescriptions. It's $50. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. How do you find it? Look for doxycycline. DOXY. This might be a little loud. I'm at car wash. Starting day early. But yeah, doxycycline. You're looking at about $70 for 30 of them. It's basic antibiotic. A 90-day supply, it's hundreds of dollars. And if you have no insurance, then you go in there for $50. You talk to a doctor. You talk to them, you show them your acne, you show them the swelling of your feet, you show them any type of infection you may have, whatever it is you need those antibiotics for. You get about a 10 to 15 minute video to talk with them, to show them what you need to show them. And they'll tell you, well, you don't have to have insurance if you're doing any of the video conferencing. Also known as teletherapy. teletherapy. Well, how much will it cost you then? Like for 90 capsules, $2.50 a capsule, about $250. Oh, it'll cost you less than $6.50 a month. Less than 10% a month of what 30 capsules would cost you. Or 90 capsules. The thing is, why you can have all kinds of prescriptions transferred to Amazon if you've already got something somewhere. If you pay the $50, then you're going through Amazon's system for stuff, and you don't need insurance. Doxycycline, many others that can cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and you can get a 3-month supply for less than $20. You get a 1-month supply for less than $7. Costs you over $250 otherwise. That easy. So if you actually look at the stockpile stuff, keep the containers in mind. The light will destroy some of them. They're light sensitive. They're heat sensitive. You want them somewhere a little cooler. That's why they store a lot of the stuff in fridges, But just your basic antibiotics. People shouldn't have to pay a couple $100 so that they have something on hand that they don't wait a few days on. So, aquadoxy is a simple solution. If you immediately need it, it's good. And if you can wait a few days, you just go and Amazon it. Simple as that. And of course, all your PHI is still intact. This means your patient history information, all this stuff is protected from governments, militaries, courts, companies. When it's handled inside of something, such as 5 different desks on 10 different floors of a private hospital, they can't share anything between any of them. That would be a HIPAA violation. So HIPAA, that means that nothing can be shared internally. It presents a potential breach that governments, militaries could attempt to try to so they don't do that. Everything is controlled. That also means they can blame people. You can't share anything with anything. If anything happens, you'll be blamed. You'll lose your job, you'll lose your license. They'll say they had 30 days to fix this, to prosecute everyone involved, timely manner. So the minimum start time is $250,000, 20 years in federal prison, and it's both. So on the criminal side, that isn't for HIPAA, that's for PHI. PHI is how things are handled outside of, assuming it gets that far. And that's all the people who tried for the breach. So whether it's conspiracy, mass falsification, mass reporting, mass anything, 20 years in federal prison, $250,000, and it's both. That's entry. There's also civil on top of that. By the time they start working their way back on everyone who was there, because it's the same thing. Hey, we have gone after millions of people with this, and you're in for this, but we can get dozens more of you because there's always conspirators. Now you just give up whoever the hell you tried a HIPAA violation. Y'all can share a cell for the next 20 years, and you want to ask how that goes. Well, that's PHI. So, trick is they start with the civil stuff, usually to where it's what's happening, and then they roll in on that kind of stuff. Because the civil stuff starts at only 10 grand, and people don't take it seriously. Investigation. So 10 grand or 250 grand. And then done that, just a little 10 grand to over $63 million of the people. That's hundreds of thousands of them. And I don't think it's not about it. On the criminal side, it's hundreds of billions. So they use the PHIs any patient history information to, start expanding further and further on these various to the HIPAAs. And essentially, government, 20 years. Military, 20 years. Any other, anyone else who would be part of the HIPAA, 20 years. The original practitioner, 20 years. The original practitioner tries to share anything with government, military, or anyone else, 20 years. Knowing this, you also know when governments and militaries are just asking for 20 years and like, well, gonna have to take y'all seriously. I mean, you've already tried this. It's a federal crime just to try to solicit a false statement or to try and falsify stop a false statement. So, yeah. Not even this and there. Just go after y'all just for trying. So, full PHI. Pretty cool, right? You screen record everything, intellectual property, everything else. Someone tries to get to anything that you got that on, still constitutes PHI. Every bit of it, still confidential. So what do? Some people don't really know what therapy is. Have no clue. It's basically a lot like you're seeing Good Will Hunting, where you spend a half hour just talking to someone. When your half hour's up, maybe you have something to say, maybe you don't. But it's your half hour. Now there's, you talk over things. It's pretty cool. It's easy. But it's for you. It's your half hour. There are dozens of times. So here's something you need to understand. The only way to get anything meaningful interaction, it's not, hey, you're there. No. You treat them just like you would anyone else. Just, hey, how you doing? Handshake, meet, talk. If you feel like talking someone's ear off about cars, 85R tuning, they're the ones. If you feel like talking your ear off, you just talk their ear off. You just, okay, cool. They're there so that you have someone who you can talk with, who listens, the human interaction side of, that you can actually treat like a normal human being. Because a lot of people don't have that. Everybody's got that. No. They got people they meet, they hang out with. It's cool, but we're all working overtime. Some of us don't have 5 minutes of conversation. Yeah, they walk by, you on your phone, you talk to them. This could be even people right there in the actual process of doing your job, and you are talking for 5 minutes, and they're so literally standing beside you. Uber is so you just talk whatever you want. Want to listen to music, listen to music. Want to talk. You're amazed how many people just don't have the time. And then when they do have the time, well, they're not actually really around people who, getting into E85R tuning. Unless they're actually with the therapist or drag or anything. So, therapist, here's what you do. You find one thing, 8-hour that you can talk someone's ear off, like an hour. Then you find one thing that you're doing that is awesome, that you know is cool, but that everyone thinks, nah, you're not doing anything cool. It's like, yeah, I'm doing something pretty cool. I'm wearing the smartwatch, man. Do you see this smartwatch? Doing something pretty cool. Treat them like someone who you just met, you've clicked, they listen, and you're going to show them all the cool spots. National parks, towns. Like, this is good, that's cool. Tell them what kind of projects you're working on. Tell them about your long work weeks, your hours, and that it's all worth the cool stuff you're doing. Things you don't do. Treat them like a bobblehead. You are not a fucking politician. They are not a yes man. A yes man can generally try to ignore enough and quantify enough to just nod their head most of the time. You know what happens when you go to a therapist? But yes, that's there. Like, agree with me. Oh no, pumpkin. You can find a political rally somewhere. That is not the place, though. You want a fucking bobblehead? Go campaign with the political party. But that will never be a therapist, okay? You want a real human being, not someone you just sit there going over, everybody agrees with me and everybody started, but you're looking at me, right? I can get a little richer with you, right? I'll take sides, right? Because that's what you sound like to them. Now, it is your hour. If you're paying that much, half hour's better. But that ain't how it's done. And eventually, they're just going to roll their eyes and, yep, people are going to talk like, well, they don't get any type of, so rather than talk to them, and that's what I have to say. They talk at them, ignore them entirely, and say, thanks. And they're like, no, I did not tell you to. Like, yeah, but that's easier to just ignore you. Therapist is that one person who's a normal human being when other people are drunk, high. That could be spouses, that could be employers, that could be a lot of different people. Yeah. And that little bit of normalcy in all kinds of chaos, conspiracy, tyranny. A little bit of normal. Just be like a normal human, you know? And that's nice to have. And people may take it for granted, but then they actually start thinking of a lot of people who maybe don't listen to what all right. People who need therapists. Not because they're there, but because they need to understand and value the experience of having normal people. Anyone who has ever wanted to talk someone's ear off, particularly introverts, and had people's eyes glazed over. They're just, I can't take any more. I don't understand any of this. I'm not listening to you. Please, can you never bring this up? So, cosplayers. You ever try to talk about cosplay? You see eyes glaze over? Techies. You ever start talking over tech? You see people's eyes glaze over? I do 85R tuning. I know the people. When we get together at Cosmic Convention, we're all talking. We get together, they're all there. We get together and talk 85R, we're all talking. But otherwise, a lot of you stop talking because people's eyes start glazing over. They're talking over their head. They don't understand any of it. It's sad. And that's just part of it, you know? So you need that experience, someone who carries them. Before you know it, you'll start talking again. You'll start speaking your mind again. And there's people out there whose eyes are going to glaze over. It's not going to mean anything. You got people who actually find this stuff interesting. I'll listen to what you're into. And maybe it's kind of like that girl who, she actually listens to what you say, pays attention, spends all 5 minutes to actually be like, oh, so UD5 RTD, listen to you talk for half an hour, spend 5 minutes actually looking at how the Eva foam's done on the cosplays and how the Microsoft in the hand and but it looks like an actual interest in what you want to say. And you speaking your mind. Let me go from actually just being quiet, like, their eyes can glaze over, pointless. Yeah. So I've had dozens of video therapy sessions. Mine, they own me, which is pretty cool. And I would just go somewhere and some's cool and talk with. And it's like, imagine this. You know something confidential and you have a friend that no one else can fuck with. Not governments, not militaries, not anybody. You have them all to yourself. They can't any confidentiality, which means they can't do anything for any type of court, which means they can't get in there as a character, anything. They can't go over anything with anyone. You got someone? Any others? Just tell us y'all. How cool is that? You got your biometrics, your smartwatch. 64 beats a minute, half hour, 12 breaths a minute, every 5 seconds. Blood pressure, 111/62. Genuinely pleasant. And really all that stuff where really do it's not really. Log all that. Say when you're actually getting all therapy sessions on. Yep, and you get all hardware encrypted so that all of your expectations for privacy, with confidentiality, all the things you can do with hardware encryption, privacy expectations. as social media is one of the most powerful tools. Intellectual property used to be you just speaking your mind. People use this, they didn't get tens of thousands of dollars in copywriting fees. Copywriting is a six-figure a year independent gig, and that's if you're only working part-time hours. But you want to copyright with, say, $30 for the whole year and thousands of hours. And you want to many systems. You use hardware encrypted, use many others. You put it in an envelope. You can sell a P.O. box, have a postmark. Yeah, my own P.O. box, but it's right there. I know. Hey, just leave it in there. You just say, I'd like to buy it 10 years in advance. Like, okay. I don't know. That's pretty cool, right? Anything ever becomes an issue, you can hold that P.O. box. It's postmarked. Let's see here. Thousands of hours. It'd be what? A 3-minute song is 10 grand. There's the lyrics. There's the singing. You got that's right there. It's like, well, privacy expectations. You can't open someone's mail. Why can't you open someone's mail? It's a federal crime. Why is it a federal crime? Because of privacy laws and intellectual property. They're speaking their mind. They expect privacy. It's pretty simple stuff. Well, privacy laws and intellectual property laws have been fully extended to social media. 1 dozen states, including Tennessee. Twitter's free. And a level of intellectual property and privacy. I believe the word shark was used several times by more than half a dozen different corporations. Because it turns out, much like P.O. Box and others, ain't nothing they can do. So yeah, social media, pretty cool, right? So if I expected more privacy in I to take this little one here that says public and put it on private, I just showed my friends. Like, oh yeah. Anyways, the P.O. box. You can only get the gruel going and like a fucking egg beater just. Hey, going to need flood insurance. Ain't no post office set up for let P.O. box get down with it. Just thinking of having the kind of power that Twitter and social media do. So it's a pretty powerful thing. This also means that, if you do have anything that you can go in there, view it with any of your friends or any of your, nope, they can't say anything about. Still protected. They're like, oh, by the way, privacy, like, yeah, got these disclaimers, waivers, implied consent to either. That's if you get within 20 meters. Now, what does that mean? When someone goes and they just kind of, there's a user agreement. Well, if you create these things first and you don't interact with them until they actually leave, then it is implied that they consented before you interacted. They're like, oh, they're working a 40-hour week somewhere else. Well, maybe someone else just scrolled through and clicked without you. But if you're within 20 meters, that ain't likely. If you're working a 40-hour week, 100 miles away, maybe. But even then, you understand how PHI works. It ain't likely. Understand that by consent, much more interesting with disclaimers and waivers than just with social media. So yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff. So here's what you do. You know how you can have this is cool and that is cool. If you're paying a half an hour for a video conference with a therapist, then you actually feel like a bird. Hey, let's hang out sometime. How easy is that? Like a real person, huh? Like, hey, I'm working on this car. Going camping, doing some off-gridding. Here's the Dragon Rally. Here's Cars and Coffee. Here's all 85R tuning. Here's a couple independent gigs. Here's all and anyone tries to scoff, you just laugh and like, dude, you don't know it. Not even going to tell my video therapist about you. No. Because you ain't worth it. Got a real person right there. I'm going to have some fun. Going to show what's cool. You'll never even come up. And that's something.